Hello friends. Welcome to the channel. Okay, I'm sorry for this, but I'm like, it's so orange. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to Beverly Hills. I wanted to supercharge this video and I'm already getting some downloads. All right. So if you're new, what's going on? My name is Stormie Calder, your favorite life coach, spiritual coach. In today's video, I'm going to take you through a Starseed update. So it's an energy update and channeled message and reading for the collective of wonderful humans that are going to be watching this and being with me here in this video, where I'm going to deliver you the messages that are of the most high timeline that you most need to know at this time period, specifically for September, and the energy updates, the energies coming through, the whirlwinds for September. Now, of course, as with any other energy reading or update I've done, these are timeless messages. Whenever you click on this, it is synchronistic. It is here for you, and there will be a message for you here because energy and time are synonymous, and I work with quantum energy. So if you're here for a message and it's not in September, stay. There's going to be a download for you, especially since I read in a way that most people do not read. All right, so I'm at the Beverly Hills sign, and I'm going to try to park my butt down here and channel for you guys. I am in the Akashic Records. This message specifically is an Akashic Records reading and transmission. I'm going to be channeling the guardians and lords of the Akashic Records for you guys and whatever messages they want you to know for the month. Also, I have an 11-part free video training on the Akashic Records. If you want to learn how to just get your feet wet, tap into, start to meditate with the Akashic Records, learn how to access your own Akasha, the record and database of your soul, then I have an 11-part free video training. This is one of those things that if you guys don't know, like, I create free offers, like most people would charge you like $500 just for that. And I'm telling you, you can get it for free. So the link is in the description below. There are 11 in-depth workshop videos, some shorter, some longer, that will entertain you and introduce you to the Akashic Records. It's kind of like the Akasha initiation ceremony. So enjoy that. And in the meantime, I'm going to sneak my little butt over here and shoot a video at the Beverly Hills sign. How fun. How fun. Y'all would have no idea how long it took me to learn how to channel in a way where I could do it in public. And they're telling me to tell you this. My guides in the Akashic Records, the Lords and Guardians of the Akashic Records years ago, were like, you can't be channeling just out of convenience when it's like perfect conditions and it's quiet in your home, which is what I used to do. They're like, you need to learn how to channel when you're amidst chaos. And this is part of the message for you guys for the month. And that crow is like literally giving me the confirmation. So my guardians, when they were training me, would not give me messages when I was in my apartment, when it was quiet, when it was easy to meditate. And they would only stream of conscious my messages for channeling when I was at coffee shops, surrounded by lots of noise, surrounded by lots of people, because they were training me to tune out the noise and to tune into spiritual awareness and my highest timelines and my highest intuitive voice, even when it's the most inconvenient. So that's like, hello and welcome to the main message of September. This month is filled with noise. Lots and lots and lots of noise. Not bad noise, just noise. Think about it like a coffee shop. It's a hustle and bustle. There's going to be lots of people pulling on your energy. Lots of people wanting and needing things from you, and that will come in the form of like quantum talk, like telepathy, as well as physical needs. People contacting you, calling you, pulling on your energy. You'll just feel it. It'll be a pull on your energy. And it's up to you, even in the midst of that sort of a chaotic noise, energetic noise, to be able to cut through and recenter and be the eye of the storm as you are walking through your planetary conscious awareness without perhaps the time to sit down and meditate. So that is the second message, is that you may not have the time to sit down and regather yourself very much, which tells me that this is a very fast-paced month. Is September fast-paced? more than you know. Very, very fast paced. That pace, I'm not sure how physical that will be for you guys, although I'm seeing it's a rather paced physical practical awareness. As much as I'm also seeing a metric F ton of quantum activity. So there's just like a lot of moving puzzle pieces in the quantum. And for those of you that resonate with being a starseed, with energy updates and things like that, and you know you're maybe part of the chosen group of souls that are of higher aptitude spiritually on the planet, then what I'm being told is there's a lot of psychic activity. Not necessarily bad psychic activity, like you guys will hear me talk about all the time, like different psychic wars and spiritual warfare and things like that. It's not necessarily warfare based. It's more like I'm being shown a huge... Okay, this is the vision they're giving me. Is like in is it Norway? The Norse gods. It's the Norse gods when clearly Odin stepped into this channel already. When Odin like sets out a huge banquet table, and you've got a celebration of the gods and a celebration of the demigods, and then you've got a celebration of inviting some humans in. Okay, so you got like Loki and Thor and with the Valkyrie and they're partying. And I don't know if you guys know about the Norse gods, but they just party. They party hard and they just party for freaking years, right? Is that right? I'm not Nordic, but I'm trying to remember. They party for like years. So there's a real lift in energetic frequency on the high timelines of the planet, where spiritually speaking, there's a celebration. The gods and the demigods are celebrating. Now, let me tap into that. What does that mean? It's a lot of excitement. It's a lot of movement. Celebration doesn't mean that everything's easy. Celebration just means that it's time to celebrate. When it's time to celebrate, it's time to move. So you can think about it like this. Like if you were to get married all of a sudden, let's say you found your perfect one, you get married. All right. That's celebratory, right? But how many people are stressed out at like having to go to the courthouse, file the paperwork, having to actually assemble some sort of a wedding, having to mix families, having to figure out who's going to get along with who's sitting down next to who's rooming with who, whatever Aunt Jackie's going to say to Uncle Mitch and like, there's just like, I don't have the reference points for this, but it's like, just like complications. Okay. It's highly celebratory. It's very alchemical of a time, September, but it's complicated. It's fast moving. There are lots of dynamics, but the overall energy is celebration. The overall energy is like golden liquid light timelines. If you're unfamiliar with that, go check out the August update that I shot, the August Starseed update. I also want to get the sign like in the video, which is giving me a few more things that I want to channel through. Okay. With that celebration, there is an elevation. So, I mean, I didn't know why I was guided here, but I'm getting the download now. So I'm in Beverly Hills. This is like one of the wealthiest... that was so cool. This is one of the wealthiest cities in the country. And as I said that, a koi fish jumped. It jumped over here. This is what I'm saying, you guys. You're watching me unpack the energies like as we speak. So that was the celebration. So I literally said one of the wealthiest cities in the country, and then the koi fish jumped. Like it's celebrating, which tells me you're making a leap. Okay, for those of you that want to leap, that are in the process of leaping, that would like a reason to celebrate yourself and the people around you and your soul family, make the freaking leap. Okay, the fish leapt. And in that periphery vision that I got, where literally the fish leapt in the video, okay, that's also the celebration. The celebration requires you to make a leap. The celebration is some sort of wealth for you. Now, I'm in Beverly Hills. This is a representation of celebrityship. It's a representation of physical wealth. It's a representation of the most pristine, most high of Hollywood. And also I'm being told to tell you, because I have had a residency in Beverly Hills for a while, it's not what people think it is. So it represents things in the country that are of such high status, but it is one of the most down-to-earth cities. Well, maybe not the most, but it's very approachable. Like, I can't tell you how many times I've met the mayor through the years. I've walked the mayor's dogs. They give me like great ideas. I've made good friendships here. It's a very approachable city. Please don't hate me. Don't at me, okay? If you're not here for like your highest timeline or becoming wealthy, just check on somebody else's video that wants to talk to poverty. It's not going to be me. All right. So there's an aspect of September that's, yeah, you hear this? It's just constant noise. I don't know if you guys can see this. Like all of these roughhousers. Celebration, right? I don't know if you guys can see this. There are a bunch of motorcycles. You're in the middle of a celebration. The celebration has lots of noise, lots of distraction, lots of shit going on. Lots of shit going on. Like literally, I'm trying to remember, what did I say? This is so fun, channeling like this out in public. Okay, so that dude's t-shirt, they're bringing my attention to him. He's got this, his t-shirt says LA, but it's in skeleton hands. So it's so loud. I hope you guys can still hear me. There's this idea of coming back to your roots. Like, what are your bones? What's your character? What's your original character? Because, you know, a lot of us, think about it like this. Okay, what's your first memory of you? If you were to sit down in meditation, what's the first memory that you've ever had? The first memory that most people have had is going to be generally somewhere between 3 and 5 years old. It's generally a happy memory. It's going to be something that feels the most like you. I don't know. I can give you an example without giving you details. Mine is like very freeing. Like, I'm such a little flower child. Like, just so free. Those energies, those frequencies, those patterns of belief are making their way back into your social currency for the month. What the hell does that mean, you guys? You're going to be returning back to your bones, returning back to your character, and returning back to your roots. When they say bones, when my guides refer to bones, they refer to character, they refer to who you are at the soul level, and the combination of your human personality that is drawn out from your experiences in how you practically express yourself in your most natural state. So not necessarily the traumatized state or the state of awareness where you had to go through all the shit and all the dark night of the soul stuff, but like who are you naturally? And that's going to be drawn out and brought forward this month. It won't be so in your face. It'll just be an option for you to choose from. And even as you're hearing this now, that option is going to be highlighted for you when it comes so that you can choose to align to your more authentic, safe, I'm hearing sensual expression. It's like your senses. It's very grounded. It's very practical. It's very sensing. It's very sensual. They're asking me to give you an example. And they're telling me this is directly related. So when I was a kid, when I was a teen, I don't know how I did this, but like, honestly, like I could go anywhere, and not know anybody, and I would make friends with adults too. Like, I would make friends, I would gain resources, like just, I don't know. I would come home and my parents would be like, how the hell did you do that? Like, how were they talking to you? And like, people would be talking about me around the town, and by the town, I mean like, there were times where I went to go visit my grandmother in New York City, and I would come back with adult friends that then were giving my family members hookups and shit at restaurants and things because they liked me. And there was this whole idea of like, how did she do that? And I always had this mantra. I was like, well, everybody loves me. And I was like 14, 15, 16, 17. I was like, everybody loves me. And it was reinforced over and over and over again. Like, I would just walk into a sea of strangers and someone would see me and recognize my soul. And they would always tell me, people would always say, I recognize you. I know you. And I would look at them and I would say, I've never met you. And I'm like 15. Like, I've never met you. But it wasn't creepy. It used to happen all of the time. I kid you not, all of the effing time. People would stop me all the time and be like, I know you, or I know someone just like you, or and people would show me like photos of doppelgangers of me. They'd be like, I know you. So I knew somewhere that I was clearly probably a level of a celebrity in a quantum reality, because I would get stopped all the time. And that just started circling back to me more recently, where I was like, oh my God, I forgot this part of myself. It's a very Libra son of me. Like, I'm just so freaking social, and I just draw it in. I draw in like the right people all the time. And I forgot about that part about myself, but it's very natural. So they're giving that as an example So what part of you was so natural for your upbringing that you likely don't even remember? It's going to be brought forward within the first 7 days of the month, for sure within the first 9 to 11 days of the month of September. And if you're seeing this later, it'll cue in then. Probably 7 to 11 days from when you see this. But you're going to be shown an aspect of yourself that was very, very natural for you when you were growing up, that was like kind of your attraction juice. They're calling me, they're saying it's like a battery juice. It's like, it's your magnetism and how your magnetism works and from what chakra it's coming from. So mine, these memories are coming from my teens, so that's the magnetism of my heart chakra. So probably you're going to be tuning into the magnetism of your heart automatically and what it is to be you. And oh my God, people like you for you, babe. The real you, not the you were trained to be, the you that you are just by being you authentically, that would have showed up when you were a child. And that's like an essence or an expression. Your soul takes on that essence, and sometimes we forget to express it because of trauma or conditioning, or like we're just shown, I don't know, a heartbreak, we're given a heartbreak or something, and then we deny that expression. There's kind of like a really loose rubble clearing this month where your heart's just going to kind of naturally have an opening to express itself that way. And that will bring you into awareness with, oh my God, there's little insects around me, into awareness with this higher timeline, with this representation of wealth for you, because the soul doesn't just see wealth as material. Obviously, the soul sees wealth as expression, as self-expression, as authenticity, as connection, and as love, right? I'm getting bothered by these little buggies. These little buggies, you might be bothered by little buggies. What are buggies? Just nuisances. That's what they're saying. They're saying anything that conflicts with this point of view or this point of attraction, just shrug it off, okay? So some people might be loud and obnoxious in your life. Some people might be trying to get your attention. Some people might be envious as fuck, jealous as fuck. There's a lot of monitoring spirits that are coming through that I'm seeing. There's going to be no lack of hell, okay? It's just that you are in such a level of celebration energy that the hell really doesn't exist. So if you guys have seen like, oh my gosh, I forget what it's called when Satan shows up as the fly. Regardless, like hell could be represented as a fly, or a monitoring spirit could be represented as a fly, right? They're saying to see the negative energy. Literally, as I'm saying it, I can feel these freaking buggies. They're saying to see the negative energy as just a fly. It's just something you swat away. It's something you ignore. It's a pest. It's a nuisance. It's an annoyance. It's not something to focus on. It's not something to even pay attention to. And I'm hearing that very, very loud and clear. If you guys are wondering if there's any time of the year to just ignore shit that's not going right, September's it. Just ignore it. You don't like it, get rid of it. Unless you need to actually make a change and actually pay attention to the negativity in order to do something more immediate for yourself, to keep yourself safe and secure, then go ahead and do that. But really what I'm hearing is just swat it away. Pull out the fly swatter. That's what they're saying to me. Pull out the fly swatter and just like swat that shit away and then refocus on what you want. And I just heard 2 honks for confirmation. I don't know if you guys heard that through the mic. Oh my gosh, I need to take a deep breath. This is like a more intense channeling experience because I'm reading a lot of different energies within the records and around me simultaneously. That's the next message they're saying is there's a little bit of a split screen consciousness this month. So you are watching me read the higher energy. I'm reading the 5th dimensional reality. I'm in the Akashic Records. I'm reading the Akasha. And I'm seeing a split screen, like there's an upper half and a lower half. I'm also present in my human body, and I am reading simultaneously. You're watching me do this in this video. I'm reading the awareness of where I am right now. So there's a guy over there that's looking at me. There have been several, and I'm monitoring them, like watching where the eye contact is going to make sure that people aren't going to interrupt me or that there's any level of a direct threat. Like my primal instinct mind is certainly on. I'm also reading the circumstance and the environment. So I don't know if you guys can see, there are tons of cars going by. There are people honking. There are people talking. There are people doing weird shit around me. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, so you are watching me navigate, reading people around me, up to 50-ish at a time, that are kind of surrounding while I've been shooting this video. Reading myself with the camera. It's a little bit of a weird experience for people that aren't used to people doing camera shit, you know. It's kind of standard for LA, but it's a little strange. And then I'm also reading the Akashic Records simultaneously. So I'm reading the Akasha and the Quantum. I'm reading my projection and the projection of others towards me, and I'm reading my physical environment all simultaneously. That is what September is going to feel like. Again, circling back to our first theme, you know how I was saying there's a lot of noise, and you're going to need to be able to find your truth, find your authenticity, and find your intuition, your intuitive voice, your intuitive knowing amidst chaos. We are back to the first theme. We're back to the first thread of energy. It's the same thing. It's all the same. Okay, sorry. It's all the same. So you're going to feel like you're reading in a sea of chaos. Now, spiritually, that could be really confusing for a lot of people. It could be confusing for you. That's going to be the struggle for the month. If you're wondering oh shit. I'm literally losing. We won't get into it. This is the month. I was brought to this location to show this sort of energy. This is the energy of the month. It's like you're in celebration, like you're in the middle of doing stuff, like it's fun. All is well. All is well, sweetheart. All is well. And like there's a certain level of stimulation and chaos that is present that you need to be attentive to while carving your path through the center to find and discover your highest timeline. September is highlighting your highest timelines. What does that mean? The highest timeline is the highest quantum reality where you are accessing your highest potential. You know, our higher selves leave a little breadcrumb trail to allow us to climb up the staircase from one lower timeline or existence or reality to a timeline that has more potential. More chaos is what I'm being told. Why is that? Okay, we'll get into that. There's more chaos at the higher timelines, and that's, interesting. Oh my God, I'm hearing so many confirmation beeps. Okay, so there's a little discrepancy of what people think is a highest timeline or highest potential. I'm being told that the highest timeline and your highest potential is more chaotic than where you are right now in time space. And when we want to become wealthier, healthier, have the best sex, the best love of our life, the best everything, the best house, whatever, move it, whatever you're doing. We think that we're going to have the same level of stillness and of organized thought and belief as we do now while we move into the next timeline. But that is what I'm being told is actually in conflict. So when we are not just shifting timelines, but the new higher timeline actually has more chaos. It actually has more confusion, and it actually has more noise than the lower timelines, because there is more activity. It's not chaos for the sake of chaos. It's not noise for the sake of noise, and it's not confusion for the sake of confusion. It's just that when you make more money, you have to pay attention to more things. There are more responsibilities. When you have more people in your life that absolutely love and adore you, there are more people that you need to satisfy, that you need to communicate with, that you need to talk to. There's more. Where there's more activity, there is more responsibility. Where there is more responsibility, you have to be better at understanding who you are authentically in your truth and in your intuitive voice as you move through the sea of other people's, I don't want to say opinions or illusions, because it's not necessarily it. It's a celebratory energy. Other people's asks, other people's requirements, other people's cooperative needs. You're sharing your space with other people you love. It's kind of like spiritually having roommates. Like you're sharing that space spiritually with other people that you're celebrating with. It also means you need to account for their needs as much as your own. That is success. That is connection. This is also the same energy that builds wealth. And I'm being told you guys think it comes with a level of security and stillness that you're accustomed to, a level of selfishness that you're accustomed to, and it does not. It comes with the renegotiation of understanding who you are in the sea of the celebration of everybody else's well that you love and adore in your life, all of these other energies, and being able to meet their needs as well as yours simultaneously. It will feel like noise, is what I'm being told. It will feel like high levels of stimulation. It will feel like chaos. If you're used to needing a lot of space in order to make decisions, or a lot of space to feel safe, emotionally or spiritually, or that you can only like meditate when the conditions are ideal. You can only meditate with God and with spirit when it's quiet, when your husband's not home, when your kids are at school, when erase all that shit. You can meditate while you're washing dishes, babe. That's the truth. Meditation is single-minded focus. You can get focused in a moment, breathing for a few minutes. You need to be able to make cohesive decisions for yourself while under pressure. Many asks, many different energies, chaotic energy, higher timelines equals higher pressure. Higher timelines have much higher pressure than lower timelines. Wow, I didn't realize they were going to have this streaming through to me, but there are a lot of things you guys would think about higher timelines. You'd think it'd be easier. It's not. It's actually a more complicated energy. It's just a happier energy. It's a happier, higher timeline, but it's the higher timelines where you access your higher potential. You are more activated. You are more present. You are more active. You have more connections, and you have more responsibilities that you need to pay attention to. Okay? It's kind of like going from a single family business operation, or like a small business operation. Let's say the small business operation is like you as a sole proprietor. Okay. And then you get all of these clients, you get this influx of clients, and you're like, oh my gosh, amazing. I'm making multi-six figures now. And you're like, shit, but I don't have the time to do all that work myself. So now I got to hire some people. Now I got to go on Upwork and bring in some contractors. Or maybe I need to bring somebody on full time, or what have you. And then your time gets redistributed of more success and of significant wealth and value, but now there are more asks, there are more demands on you, there are more responsibilities, and your time gets redistributed to manage your time and other people's time better with more balls that are being juggled in the air, with more asks, more requests, more needs, and literally more responsibility, literally more pressure. But you're making, in this scenario, so much more money. So let's say you go from a sole proprietor, and now you have a little S corporation with 5 employees or whatever. There's going to be a huge shift to that. Of course, that's a higher timeline in this scenario. Like going from a sole proprietor business to a 5-employee S corp that's a big shift. That's a timeline jump. That's a higher timeline. And in that higher timeline, you have more responsibility. You have more pressure. There are more needs placed on you that you have to be able to navigate under higher pressure. Does that make sense? There are higher stakes, higher pressure, and higher stakes. In those higher stakes, there will be nonchalant characters that want to engage with you, that want to play, that want to distract, that just want to see what you're up to. Now, those could be exes, those could be family members you left in the past, those could be literally strangers. So just mind your business, keep your focus. They're telling me to tell you something that I do that I think is just so common for me. But what other people I've noticed think is weird about me, and I just don't care. I just don't care. So take this attitude. Is that when I'm working, you guys, I work at coffee shops, I work at restaurants, I work out a lot. When I'm working, sometimes strangers will try to get my attention, or maybe some old people I know or what have you will try to get my attention and will try to talk to me, or will try to distract me. And I am very, when I'm working, I'm working. When I'm focused, and I know my priorities every day. When I have things that need to get done, like, I'm on top of it, and I'm not willing to sacrifice 30 minutes for a conversation for someone, because if any of you know how deep work works, if you have a conversation with someone for 30 minutes, any level of confusion or trying to meet someone else's needs, you're eating up that time plus the next hour afterwards. And so you got 90 minutes immediately of trying to get back into your deep work. And then depending on whether or not you're hungry, etc., you could literally lose 2 days of work because of a 30-minute conversation. I know some people think this is nuts, but I just don't give a shit. I'm so effing productive. Like, I'm so tight with my creative output. That when people reach out to me at coffee shops or approach me, either strangers or people I have no interest in talking to, and I have priorities going on, like, I literally don't pay attention. Or if they come up, I'm like, hey, good to see you. Like, I'm focused, I'm working. The people that want to be there for a distraction or that have nothing to do, like, it's pretty obvious because they start being like, what? And they walk away and they schlep away. And I'm like, it's not my responsibility to take care of you emotionally. But those of us that are entrepreneurs tend to function this way. So when I run into my friends at coffee shops and they're in deep work mode, like, they look at me and I'll see on their face, I'm like, now's not the time to disturb them. Like, I'll see you when I see you. And I don't worry about it and I walk away. So that example is being given to you through my guides in the Akashic Records to show you that you need to maintain your focus and that it's not going to be convenient. It won't. It won't. If you have any people-pleasy bone in your body, you're not going to get done what you need to get done through September. You got to ditch the people pleasing. You can't please people through conversation and get your focus work done at the same time. So something's going to have to be a little abrupt. And likely what I'm being told is you should be a little bit more abrupt with the people around you that are disturbing your focus, because you are the one that has to get the results that you have to get this month in your life in order to meet your criteria or whatever for the increased pressure and responsibility that's coming through September. Probably that will build through the end of the year, but it's definitely going to be here for September. And if you give some of that pressure up and try to juggle other people's expectations when it doesn't matter, like strangers or people walking by or friends that, like, you don't need anything from them, they don't need anything from you, like, they're literally wasting time, they're pissing time away. That's what I'm being told. They're showing me just time wasters, lots of time wasters. I have to take a deep breath because it was just such a large amount of distractions. Y'all, these are like, don't hate me, you guys. These are like guys from the Midwest that are like, what? We have never, is she an influencer? I'm like, no, I'm just on YouTube, guys. Leave me alone. Okay, so that's the thing about shooting video in public with a little camera. Like, people are like, what? And I'm in Beverly Hills. This shit is normal, you guys. It's normal. It's normal. But it requires a lot of focus. Like, I have to maintain my focus because I'm not going to edit this video because that will cost me another 4 to 6 hours of time. And it's just completely unnecessary. And I know that. So I'm maintaining my higher timeline. And I'm doing what I was told to do today, which was the inspiration of coming down to the Beverly Hills sign and shooting this video for you guys. This is a Starseed update that I'm not going to edit. Like, it's like you're watching me move through the energy that is the month. You need to be more productive. I'm not telling you to ditch relaxation practices. I'm not telling you to ditch your own femininity for those that are women. I'm saying understand your priorities, focus, and get it done. Do the bare minimum to get the things done, because you're going to have increased responsibility, which means you need to lessen your load for each responsibility. Enjoy the process. I'm trying to think with celebration too, when there's increased responsibility like this, it's easy to kind of barrel roll through it. And then you end up kind of like blacking out at the end of the period where it's like, I forget what I even did because I was so busy. So let me check in on that. Let's see. Be a busy bee, but leave some time. They're saying leave some time to decompress. Maybe it's a day, a week, whatever. Take the time where you need to. So for me, my activity is increased. And every evening I will probably take 2 hours still to decompress. Like, I just love to sit back on my bed and I just loosely concentrate, meditate, and work through all the lingering loops of energies that are connecting to me so that the next day I wake up with fresh energy. And that's fun for me. So even though the activities increase, I'm probably always going to do that anyway. So I might have a crazy day, but still at the end of the day, I'm going to do that. So find your peace of mind. What is the bare minimum that you need to feel recovered and that you need to feel safe and secure so that you're not running a million miles an hour with your thoughts and with your energy, where you will almost forget this time period of your life. This is a rapid changing time period. You don't want to forget it. I'm being told you're going to want to commit it to memory. So amidst this noise, this chaos, this fast movement, this higher timeline that you're jumping into that requires a jump, it requires a leap, it requires better conversations is something I'm hearing, it requires better negotiation, and it requires better juggling of your own energy and your own needs. And then also having a routine about your own ability to decompress your own energy. As you decompress your own energy, as you untangle yourself every single day from the thoughts, from the appearances, from the energies that are happening through the day, what that does is it helps you to ground your emotional body, ground your spiritual energy, and literally ground into your body so that you can feel safe, so that you can retain your memory, so that you can be present through your life and not race through this chapter. Enjoy the jump. I'm being shown the jump is not a typical jump, as in like that when we think of quantum jumps, it's like you're jumping from one timeline to another and it's like trying to delete the old timeline and like make a full leap. It's actually more like a staircase is what they're showing me. So there's two timelines. Can we get, I'm like, okay, so this and this, two timelines running parallel next to each other, and there's a staircase in between. One timeline is a lower timeline, the other timeline is a higher timeline. Instead of having to make a huge jump, you just need to follow the breadcrumb trail. There's going to be a staircase of energy in between the two timelines to help you simply elevate. Your guides are aware. They are ready, locked into you, on target, to give you the next step today. And that's what you need to look for. Follow the breadcrumb trail from God, from Spirit. It's next step, next step, next step. Don't worry too much ahead. Kind of know roughly where you're going, what your goals are, and then just move. Move based on the present moment, what it's showing to you, and how and where you are inspired to go, even if it looks chaotic or messy. Because the mess actually is the success right now, and that's something they're really anchoring in very avidly. Part of changing timelines, part of elevation is making a mess. And what people think is that it's going to be more simple when I get to the higher timeline. It's going to be easier. And I'm being told, no, it's going to be more messy. And the reason why you're not in the higher timeline yet is because you're unwilling to make a mess in the process. Like, you want to make pancakes tomorrow morning, but you don't want a mess in the kitchen that you're going to have to clean up. Well, part of making pancakes is making a mess. So you're going to have a mess no matter what. You can have kind of a controlled mess, or you can have a messier mess, but it doesn't matter. Regardless, if you want the outcome, if you want to eat the chocolate chip pancakes with your friends, then you have to go through the act of actually making the chocolate chip pancakes and delivering them on a table with your friends tomorrow morning. Like, there's like a process. Like, get over the process. It's part of the leap is being messy. Part of the leap is the chaos. Part of the leap is other people's expectations and opinions of and around you, but not negative. Like, they're literally, you've invited them to your table. Okay, pancakes. You've invited them to your table. These are spiritual connections. This is soul family. You have invited them to your table. They have a seat at your table. They are meant to be there. So when they have requests or they have asks or they have opinions and things spiritually, etc., they're things that need to be juggled because they're part of the story. They're part of your story. They're part of her story. They're part of the overarching larger, higher timeline where everybody is seated at your table. And to be seated at your table, like, they're not just being fucking quiet, you guys. Like, they're participating, they're laughing, they're making jokes, they're like flipping peas on each other's, I don't know, plates. Like, they're messing around, they're doing their thing, and they're like, hey, like, you want some help with those pancakes? And they're like, somebody's over your shoulder, somebody else is pouring orange juice. Like, there's a lot of things going on. Are you gonna be angry with them? No, you're having a good fucking time. You're having a good time. This is soul family. These might be physical relationships around you, and or it might be more soul relationships, and or some relationships might be coming in that you haven't met yet. There's just a lot of energy. There's a lot of energy, and it needs to be managed, and you need to understand that there's a mess, And that's being told very clear to me because there's such an aversion to us spiritually to have to work through messes or emotionally through messes. This could be an emotional mess for you. You could be making the pancakes, in this scenario, and then break out into tears because the last time you made pancakes, there was it's like fucking PTSD or whatever from like, oh my God, I don't know, maybe you made pancakes in your childhood and it means something to, who knows? It's going to get messy, and you got to be okay with it. You have to be okay with it because at the end of the day, the whole experience, the point of this is to have the experience of the celebration around these other souls, to then come to the table and eat, which is your destiny contracts, is your higher timeline. It's your initiation into your higher, into your most high. There will be people arguing with you. There are literally people like screaming over there. There are going to be people that argue around you. Ignore them. And the whole point of this whole process is to be fluid and present and enjoy it, because then when you sit down at the table to have your feast with God and with your soul family and everyone that's supposed to be around you, you're going to enjoy your fucking flapjacks. You're going to enjoy your flapjacks. Also, I'm being told, so pancakes for me growing up was like a Sunday thing. It was relaxing. It meant that the house was calm. So even if it's messy, what I'm being told is to tell you, like, God's got it. It's meant to be the Sunday. It's meant to be the temple day. It's meant to be the clearing. It's meant to be the reset for the week. It's meant to be the ease. It's meant to be the ease. And they're showing me like pancakes like made in, with the ears, like with Mickey Mouse, like the Disney character, like making Disney pancakes and stuff like that, or like dinosaur pancakes or whatever. Like, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be playful. Like, roll with the punches. Spirit's got your back, and Spirit's literally creating the table, inviting the right people to sit at your table, is giving you an easy path to your most high timeline by giving you a breadcrumb trail of happy experiences. And what's up to you is managing your own responsibilities, understanding that Spirit exists among the noise, and the noise will be dialed up, so you need to learn how to hear your own spirit and juggle new and greater responsibilities and pressures with ease, because ultimately you're here to have fun. All right, that's the message I have for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like this video, subscribe, tap the bell for notifications, and I'd love to hear any other themes or anything that resonated from this video with you in the comments below. I'm sending you all of the love. Enjoy September. Hello from Beverly Hills. Goodbye from Beverly Hills. I'll see you guys soon. Lots of love. Bye.